NASCAR, Laura Ingram, Dennis Miller, David Toulis, Coast to Coast AM, and CBS Radio News. Chattanooga's news, talk, and sports leader.
Hot News Talk Radio, 910, 1190, and 1240 AM.
I just moved to my new house today. Moving was hard, but I got sweat away.
You are about to embark on a journey through real estate and real estate investing. This is Real Estate U.
Yes, it is. You are listening to Real Estate U on Hot News Talk Radio, 1240, 1190, and 910 AM. Or you might be sitting at your desk or at home and listening to us at hotnewstalkradio.com. As always, if you get out and about, you're about to leave maybe for an early lunch or go work out or something, on your phone, your smartphone, just go to the TuneIn app, download it, and look for 1240 WSDT. That's WSDT 1240 Chattanooga, and you can listen to us wherever you go. You're listening to Real Estate U. I am Eric Judd, and along with my guest host, the one and only Mr. John Santero. Hello, John.
It's a lovely day to be in real estate.
Yeah, always a lovely day to be in, especially lately, right?
It really is lately. Listen, it's going to be a great day out today. It's supposed to have sunshine the rest of the day. So
it's 2 days in a row.
2 days in a row. Go out there, take a walk around the block of your neighborhood, and see what's available house-wise.
Absolutely do that. Get out and enjoy the weather. It's a little cool out there right now, but that's okay. We'll take that after the torrential rains of this weekend, and we hope everybody's doing fine. And as always, John, we want to let everybody know that the Chattanooga RIA meeting is coming up on May the 7th, and it's going to be all about money.
It's a money show. We're going to have a panel out there regarding different types of banks, standard traditional banks, savings and loan. Then we're going to have hard money lenders, Eric, and we're going to have some private lenders, and we're going to try to go into a topic of how do you get money, and do you need money, and where to find money.
Yeah, and I think every real estate investor, that's their biggest question. So you come out and you'll learn exactly what they're looking for if you're trying to go to a bank or if you're trying to go to another entity, and they'll explain it to you and kind of give you some enlightenment on how all those different financial ways to acquire real estate work.
There's a whole thing about that regarding how many people come into town and say you don't need any money to get into real estate. And yeah, there's times when you really don't need any money to get into real estate. We've done a number of deals where we didn't have money. And matter of fact, a couple of that when we were at closing, we got money back.
Right.
But the people like to have a warm and fuzzy on what the traditional ways of going about getting money, or even a lot of untraditional ways. There's a lot of other ways you can go out and finance deals. So if that's your fear that you don't have money, come to the real meeting and you can
find somebody with money. Yeah. And that's going to be May the 7th. If you need more information, you can go to ChattanoogaRIA.com. That's Chattanooga, REIA.com. The meeting starts at 6:30. You can get there just a little early. They always have a nice food buffet. And it's also a good time to network and meet like-minded people that are interested in real estate as you are.
Yeah. And, speaking of a nice day outside, did you see the article in the paper where Chattanooga ranked number 1?
Yeah, we're number 1 in social well-being.
Now, Eric, what is social well-being?
Means we're socially well, I guess. I don't know.
Are we a well social people?
I guess we are. What did it say in the article? We're very supportive and encouraging. How do they measure that?
I have no idea, but it's according to the United States Institute of Peace.
Yes, as opposed
to war. We are a number 1 ranked for social well-being. So that, I guess, we have good
we have a lot of good warm and fuzzies. We just give good positive energy. We are
I guess in a way that's kind of cool.
Well, we are kind of that, city where you got some eclectic groups that come here and live here. And maybe it's because of we have a diverse economy, but there's a lot to do here. A whole lot to do here.
When you read this, they say, and it's Chattanooga being 6% more likely than the country as a whole to be on the receiving end of friends and families' positive energy.
See, we're friendly. We're friendly.
Now, I
As
thought that sounds too California to me.
well, maybe it's moving this way.
All those Californians coming
Yeah,
out
that's
here
it. That's it. See, you brought them with you.
I guess I have, but I guess it's kind of neat to say we're number one in being a well-being kind of
and
people.
social well-being. So that means that we're going to uplift you and say hello. I think, it has a lot to do with, we have a lot of good things going on in the city where we have River Bend is coming up, and that's just a very nice festival at a very reasonable price. And then you've got Miller Plaza, the music on Miller Plaza every Friday.
Starting up. Well, isn't the pavilion starting with the market?
Yeah, the market it starts this weekend.
Yeah, I think
wow.
It's this weekend. They just had that whiskey festival over there last weekend, which was a lot of fun. Even the Lookout started.
Yeah,
right?
the Lookouts they were back in town. They left last night, but I think you're right. I think social well-being, good karma, good cheer, positive energy. At least we're number one in that instead of, ill will and we, kick people when they're down type deal.
I guess that could be like Philadelphia.
Yeah. Also, John, Chattanooga home sales are starting to increase, and it was a good quarter. It looks like a real good quarter where they were up almost 13%. And that's very important for, if you're investing in real estate, whether it be, you're going to flip a home or you're going to buy and hold or whatever. You want to see that home sales going up.
Well, it went up 12.8% from this time from last year, but the median price slipped a little bit. It went from it currently now is 135,000, and it was 136. That was only like 1 point. I
wonder if that's because of new construction, maybe, or there's been some, maybe below that would be your starter home, and maybe there's more people buying starter homes now than there were a year ago.
Well, that could be too, and it really doesn't take for that type of percentage. I think, Eric, it really doesn't take that much to move it. So if you've had a couple of high dollar sales last February, that can probably shift that a little bit.
Oh, I think it should. And I'd
rather take the increase in sales value of 12.8 than the decrease.
Yeah, that's
of 1.
more.
4.
Yeah,
if I had a choice,
absolutely, because that's more. That's more homes moving in the area, and I think we're seeing. I know when I'm out and about, you're seeing a lot more new construction, which is nice to see because there for a while that had just stopped.
Yep.
No one was building, and I'm seeing lots and places I didn't realize that, there was that much land there being cleared for building now. And I'm seeing it all over. And, even North Chattanooga, there's some new construction being built where traditionally you're not going to find a lot of new construction over there.
What's nice about what's going on too, is basically the prices got to the point where a spec builder can go in and you take down a house on a nice lot and put up a new house and still be able to make that the numbers work. So that's kind of neat. That when you see that kind of stuff happening, that means that market is really starting to.
And what do you think causes that? Do you think that there maybe funding is getting a little better for people, or people feeling a little more confident about the economy?
I think there's a lot of that, sure. And the biggest part about it is that you can get financing for it. The banks, you go in and you give your plan to the bank, and they say, yep. Because most of the new construction is going to be, a construction loan to permanent financing. So the banks are the ones that are kind of loosening up a little bit more now too.
So they're loosening up on the front end for the guy doing the construction, and probably on the back end for the person buying the home.
Oh yeah. Plus, I guess the market is such where you can show that you can take down a house and put up a house with your construction costs and still be in a good profitable area where the bank says, yeah, well, you got a good deal there. So that's kind of neat to see that. Never mind the extra infills on vacant land.
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of that is starting to take shape because people are, people when builders go in and build, they want to build in a place that it's going to sell quickly. And everybody knows that North Chattanooga is probably one of the hottest, if not the hottest market in Chattanooga area. But I also see some stuff out in East Brainerd and Oodawall and other places.
Yeah. And, the nice thing about that is that it just bumps the price points of everything. A new house in the neighborhood shows that there's some upward mobility there, and that allows the other people there that are selling their homes a little bit more margin also.
Oh yeah, I mean it helps all the way around. And it was funny, before we come on the air, we heard a commercial about you could call an 800 number and get some kind of list of government foreclosures that were happening, which I'm sure they've been running this commercial for about 4 or 5 years now.
If it makes it on TV, usually
it's over.
That's over. But listen, real estate it's getting to be sexy again.
Yeah.
Okay. And it wasn't a couple of years ago.
Well, it was blamed for the whole,
and investor was a dirty word.
Right.
Now all of a sudden people are reaching out and saying, hey, we want your business, both banks and of course other trades. And that's a good thing. So with that, and we are on an uptick, how do people get involved with this market? Because we're seeing a lot of people coming in from out of town, looking at Chattanooga and the metro area here and saying, wow, this is a great place. And we still have
and affordable
time getting local people to
get involved in
real estate. We're not saying quit your day job and run into real estate. That's not what we're proposing. Get involved, invest local. Move some of your money from your 401ks or your stocks and bonds and get into the local real estate market here. And Eric, I really think that if people want to get involved with that if they go to one of the RIA meetings, they'll catch that fever.
Yeah, I agree, because you're going to be around people not only that live here in Chattanooga, but that have moved to Chattanooga recently, and they are going to, bring excitement of why they came here, and that was to invest in real estate. But I think, a lot of people that have been here most of their lives almost look at it that, well, this is not, I'm wanting to leave here, and they don't want to be here, instead of looking at the great opportunities that are here in Chattanooga that a lot of other cities would just, they'd love to have. And real estate is the benefit of those opportunities.
We have a client in Investor Real Estate Services that has, I think, about 6 or 7 properties. Bought them cash, and I don't remember how he got it. I think it was one of his relatives passed away, and he decided, instead of blowing the money or investing in stuff, he put it in real estate. Bought about 6 properties cash. Now has $4,000 of income coming in a month, and he's having a ball.
Yeah. And he invested where he knew, and that's in Chattanooga.
Yeah.
So, and that's a lot of people. I mean, like you said earlier, it's amazing. I mean, I know that, the stock market is something that you can watch hourly or half hourly if you want to, and see your stuff go up or down
by the minute, probably.
Yeah. And there are some, as you said, there's some sexy things in there, my Apple stock's doing great, or my Microsoft stock. But, if you really want to drill it down and put money back into the Chattanooga market, where you live, where you work, where you shop, and make a difference, then buy real estate here.
You make a big difference doing that. Not only are you improving the property values where you buy, when you improve a property, it's employment, local employment, your trades. It just goes on and on.
It's everything.
Brings up the tax base. Brings a couple in on a good, clean property that wasn't before. It's just a win-win all around.
Well, you're giving someone a nice place to live if they have to rent, even if you are flipping. And like you said, I mean, you can literally begin the change of neighborhoods and change streets and give people, if you're doing the lesser end flips, I mean, that's your first time home buyers, and you're giving somebody a start and a pathway to lifetime home ownership.
Yeah. It can be a game changer for them. And it's such a good feeling to drive down a neighborhood and see a house that you spent 3 months in, redoing and flipping, and seeing somebody out there cutting the yard.
Right. That's not you, right?
That's
Yeah.
finally,
See someone else cutting the yard.
That's not you, because you don't have to maintain it anymore. And you just, it's just a good feeling that when you go by there and you see that. And are you going to get that because of Apple stock went up?
No, you're going to go into Apple store and say, "Man, I'm glad that guy's buying that computer." No.
It's just more personable, and it's a neat way of dealing with it.
But I think a lot of people can watch the stock market and see those see those daily ups and downs or whatever, and there's some excitement there. Whereas real estate is not a daily up and down, but you can see benefits that are maybe not daily, but you can see them monthly, and you should be able to see them yearly also.
Well, and the nice part about it is it's a span of involvement, right? We call it a passive or an active investor. You can be that active investor where you're going to go out, find the property, fix it up, get all the subs in, do all your cost analysis and risk analysis, sell the property and run to the bank with your profits. Or you can be the guy that's a passive investor, be able to invest into different types of levels of investment. That can be first trust deeds. It can be backing somebody, the joint venturing, and still have that same feeling.
Right. You're correct.
Accomplishment, because now you're getting possibly double-digit returns as well as helping your community.
And as all the local hosts will tell you on Hot News Talk Radio, that invest local is very important. I mean, you are part of the Chattanooga community, and you can even drill it down to where maybe you were raised in East Ridge, and that's where you want to make your difference is East Ridge. And you go into East Ridge and you buy some rentals or you buy some flips. Well, you're making an impact. You are investing and making an impact in that community that you grew up in.
That's a great point. A lot of times now we're at an age, a lot of people that you want to kind of give back a little bit now. We've been blessed with our lives here, and but this is even you're giving back and you're receiving at the same time.
Yeah.
So how bad is that?
That's a great investment. And like John said, be proud of this community. We have come a long way. I've lived here just over 20 years. And when I moved here, it was a different community totally. And if you even go back and look at 2000 and start there, the changes that have been made. We have a great downtown waterfront that other cities try to emulate. We've got a great economy as far as we have a good balance of manufacturing. We have service jobs. We have some great headquarters here in Blue Cross Blue Shield. Everybody.
Those warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, that's why we're all this well-being stuff. Yeah.
But listen, I agree. I don't have that longevity you have. But when I first came out here in 2002, 2003, I brought a project on the south side over to one of the local banks, which I'm not going to say who they are, and they just looked at the Main Street back then and said, "We're not gonna."
Are you crazy?
I didn't even roll out the. Yeah. I was packed for bear, Eric.
Yeah. I can see you had folders. I bet you had folders. Yeah.
I had the.
And they looked at you probably like when you said, "Well, I'd like to do this on Main Street." They'd stop. That's
all they said.
Yeah.
We're on Main Street, and, and 55 East Main Street. Well, what? We're not even going. I didn't even open up one of my folders.
There you go.
I packed up and walked out,
and now look at the south side.
Look what's going on. So the thing is that listen, what you do is you look at where all the work is being. It's not a hard thing to do.
And to kind of put this in perspective, John was one of the first people to see the potential there and invest in Main Street and the south side. And now look what happened. Look at the impact of that community now. John is a living example of that, of exactly what someone says, look, I'm going to invest here. And look, if you haven't been to the south side lately in the past 10 or 12 years, I encourage you to ride around down there. It is a hub of activity.
Well, what's nice, Eric, is that it didn't take a ton of money to make a big impact, because you have the structure here to do it, and that's the neat thing about it. We worked with the city, Lyndhurst, a number of different other players in and around Main Street to bring this downtown and start that up. And there's still ways of doing that in other parts of the city, and it's neat. And you don't. It's not a lot of money to do, and that's what's good about doing something within our RIA group also, because there's a couple of other people who may have that same vision you have that you can put together and actually make a big difference. We talked earlier about last week about our ongoing program on affordable housing,
which you had the mastermind group this past week.
We have a mastermind group happening every
once a month. Yeah.
In our group to study a little bit more about what's involved with affordable housing, what's the demographics, what's the locations, how can we as investors get involved with it, what type of help or leadership do we need from the city to do it. And just recently, our mayor came up with a program also.
Yeah, yes, he did. And, he's looking to help landlords, or get landlords to help and involved with the city to, maybe do away with all the homeless veterans, which I think's, nice.
That's a start,
yeah,
right?
It is. It's a start, and it goes in with the affordable housing that we talked about, because part of that is giving someone a start. You're making an impact on your community. Okay. They may be homeless now, but you helping them out along with the city may put them on the pathway to get back in the job market and be a very successful person.
Well, it's an interesting thing that you just said there, Eric, because what happens is you have to give people a start. And one of the things is that you don't have to worry about is where you're going to sleep. And there's a lot of people have a misconception of homeless. A lot of people out there right now are a paycheck away from having to live in their car.
You're right.
Now, that may sound like a downer and whatnot, but it's a truism. We don't have the savings behind us to get us out of a jam. A jam can come at any time. A car can break down. A medical expense could come in, and a lot of people can find themselves in this situation.
You're right.
So it doesn't mean that that this is the path they chose. This is the path they got dealt with. So for us to just take a segment of the homeless, the veterans, and come up with a program, and that's going to, if you're interested in pursuing that, the mayor's going to have he's asking landlords and property owners interested in housing veterans to meet at 3:00 this Thursday at City Hall. Now, I don't know any more than that. It was this was in the Times Free Press.
It was in Sunday's Times Free Press, and it's
but it's a call. It's a call to action.
Right.
That's the way I look at it. So if you're
looking to make an impact, that'd be a great time to go. And that was what time? 3:00 Thursday.
3:00
this Thursday.
And I know I'll be there. So
just to see what's going on and see what the city.
Italian over there. That's me. So that's just a part. Now, let's just go a little bit beyond that, Eric. And let's get into that maybe in our next segment, as far as
we can expand on that. And
what does that mean to be involved with this?
Right.
How do we do this? And maybe we can talk a little bit about getting involved with these type of rental properties. What levels of investment you need to do that?
I agree, John. But we do have some opportunities here at Hot News Talk Radio and on Real Estate U. We have the Real Estate Minute, which we're looking for sponsors for that, which will give in a 60-second ad, we'll be able to tell people about what your company is, who they are, be able to give them a phone number and give them a little bit about what you do. And at the same time, we're going to give them a fact or something that pertains to real estate. A factoid. That's it. That sounds like something you would, for your breath. Doesn't it? But anyway, we have some opportunities for that. If you'd like to give us a call at 423-521-0284, You can call us 423-521-0284. We'll come out and meet with you. We'll talk more about this and show that for just, very, very inexpensively, you can be part of not only this show, but be part of Hot News Talk Radio. And you'll go out on all three stations. That's 1240, 1190, and 910. And you will be definitely will impact your business in a very positive way.
I'm John Santero, and you're listening to Eric Judd and Real Estate University, and we'll get back to you right after this break.
Yeah, we'll be back right after the break. You are listening to Real Estate U. Hey, also, you can go to our website, realestateu.org, and all of our past shows are there. We segment them up. We even kind of tell what we've talked about in those segments. So if you missed something last week, we had affordable housing, which was a great show. And then we also talked about the 1.1 class that we're doing. We did an hour on it, and it'll kind of give you an overview of that. Once again, you're listening to Real Estate U here on Hot News Talk Radio.
NASCAR, Laura Ingram, Dennis Miller, David Tulis, Coast to Coast AM, and CBS Radio News. Chattanooga's news, talk, and sports leader.
Hot News Talk Radio, 910, 1190, and 1240 a.m.
Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's got third. He's going for second. Earnhardt going for the lead.
The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series is on the Motor Racing Network. Coverage continues Sunday here at Live on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Check it out this Sunday live on Chattanooga's official NASCAR radio station.
Hot News Talk 1240.
Pure, honest, fair, and respect. Just some words that come to mind when you think about how you want to be treated. And that's how you're treated at Rivermont Pure. Rivermont Pure in Rivermont, Chattanooga. Serving your vehicle needs for over 30 years.
Now that's a long time.
Owner-operators Charlie and Tommy always put your needs first. Yeah, go ahead. Get an estimate from one of those big guy impersonal car repair chains.
No way!
Then bring it to Tommy and Charlie at Rivermont Pure. Chances are they'll beat their price and get your vehicle back on the road faster than you can say,
our customers come first. Hi, this is Charlie.
And I'm Tommy, owners of Rivermont Pure. We're here to serve you.
Rivermont Pure, the auto repair guys. Featuring ethanol-free fuel. Located across from Rivermont Elementary on Hickson Pike. Rivermont, Chattanooga. Rivermont Pure.
Rivermont Pure, that's where I've always gone to get my car serviced. My husband and I trust Charlie and Tommy. They always treat us right and give us a fair price. And they get the job done right the first time. Thank you, Rivermont Pure.
Call 485-3375. That's 485-3375.
Okay, you get your taxes done by a franchise, but you're just a number. Your preparer might have had a 9-week course, but he's a number 2. Are you creating prosperity for your customers and yourself? E.J. Pelton clears the thick underbrush of taxes, helps make your way straight. Don't let uncertainty dampen your local economy spirit. Look, come home. Let E.J. Pelton Tax Service handle your taxes. Eric Pelton is the Chattanooga and Saudi Daisy tax specialist with 37 years under his belt. Eric Pelton also does bookkeeping and accounting to help you reach your entrepreneurial and financial goals. Confidential advice, consulting, and other services. Yours for the asking. EJPelton.com. That's EJPelton.com. Call 332-3339. That's 332-3339. Think ahead.
NASCAR, Laura Ingram, Dennis Miller, David Tulis, Coast to Coast AM, and CBS Radio News. Chattanooga's news, talk, and sports leader.
Hot News Talk Radio, 910, 1190, and 1240 a.m.
You are listening to Real Estate U here on a beautiful Tuesday late morning in Chattanooga, Tennessee. You're also listening to Hot News Talk Radio. That's 1240, 1190, and 910 a.m. You can go and listen to our streaming audio at hotnewstalkradio.com. That's hotnewstalkradio.com. And if you'd like, get on the TuneIn app, and that works both on Apple products and it works on the Android product too. Just go to 1240 WSDT. That's 1240 WSDT. and download us, and you can listen to us wherever you go. My name is Eric Judd, and I'm still here with John Santero. And John, we were talking about some reasons why Chattanooga is a great place to invest and why you would want to invest in your own community in the first hour. And we kind of want to transcend that because we know that this coming Thursday, the mayor is having a meeting about homeless veterans at City Hall at 3 p.m. And we were going to kind of say, okay, now how as an investor, how can that not only benefit the homeless people, but benefit the investor?
Yeah, because we were talking about how can you invest in your community and get a good return, as well as helping out the community. And this is just one of the many opportunities that we can have here. A lot of people hear about Section 8,
yes,
and that type of housing, and people get a little afraid about it. I think
there's a lot of misnomers about it.
I'm
a lot of misnomers.
I agree with you there, Eric, because you hear some stories, and the other side of the coin, it's only as good as your tenant screening process anyway.
Yep,
so
you're right.
You have a good tenant screening process,
it's going to be good for
you.
You
Have a system. Section 8 can be a very, very good.
Section 8 is one of those things people either love it or hate it. There's no in between.
Well, a lot of people don't like the idea of having another entity being involved with the decision
and telling you what to do with your property.
Telling you what to do. But if you have an idea that you want to have a good, clean, safe property, you shouldn't be worried about it. If you're trying to get by and just kind of slumlord it, yeah, it's going to be a problem for you. But learning a little bit about it is the way to go. Knowing the systems and how they work obviously is important, and basically that's what our property management company does.
That's exactly what they do. They know not only Section 8, but they work with the city. They work with the Veterans Administration. They'll work with there's other organizations and agencies out there that not only work similar to Section 8, some of them are totally different, but they're ways to help people that need that help up to get back into a productive role in society. And it's more than Section 8. I mean, there are a lot of agencies out there that will do that.
Well, and it goes back to this, Eric. What people don't understand is that they're just assisting financially. They're not screening their tenants. They're screening it for them.
Right.
So you have to be a certain type of veteran, go through the program of what constitutes them being involved with their agency. That's their screening.
But you need to vet and screen it for your property.
That's not a tenant screening.
That's right.
That's completely correct. So the thing is that you have to have a system in doing that, and that's the biggest problem with becoming a landlord. And that's what scares people, I think, about investing as a rental property. Well, you don't have to do that.
No, you don't.
For a really small price, many property management companies will be happy to take care of that for you for 10%. We have a special program now where we go in as a flat fee, and it's at $49 a door. So give us a call, and we can handle all of those concerns for you, and still you can maintain,
because that's what we do all day, every day, and give Investor Real Estate Service a call. Like John said, ask them. So tell me about your flat fee program. Also, they have a leasing guarantee, a tenant guarantee, which will guarantee that tenant in there for 6 months. So give them a call, 423-443-4878. That's 423-443-4878, extension 3. Ask for Regina Johnson. She'll be more than happy to help with that and be more than happy to talk with you and give you some more information about that. Because as John said, it's an education process. You need to screen the tenant for your property, and at the same time, when you sign that lease, educate the tenant.
Well,
I mean, that's as important as anything.
That's the whole thing is systems, Eric, right? If you have the system to do it, if you have one or two properties, you have to create that system. If you're going to be going with a company that has hundreds of them, they already have that system in place. So, our whole thing here is to say, okay, how do we get somebody that wants to invest? That's what we're talking about now. You have a program now where the city is looking at and say, hey, we have people
80, with needs,
80 or something people out there that need some housing. What can we do? How can we do this? That's where we go back to. We're in a situation here where we're in this type of community. Well, we have that type of give and take.
It goes back to the well-being. It does.
Maybe that's part of it. And that's the nice thing about it. We can sit down. If you're in New York or LA, chances are you're not going to sit around in a round table with the mayor.
Or you may not even want to.
So. That's another story. But the thing is that you're able to do that here and get and have feedback back and forth. Now, the thing is that what you got to look at is what we talked about systems. We a little bit about how you can do that with tenants. The quickest and easiest way is hire professionals, and we talked about putting together groups and putting together your team.
Right.
And one of the things that we go into with that is in our Real Estate 101 class, as far as how do we come together and put together a team. The property management portion of that, if you want long-term holds, is an important factor there. I feel that no matter if you have 1 or 40, if that's not what you want to do.
Yeah, if that's not what you enjoy.
And that's not what you enjoy. You don't want to get those calls that the toilet's overflowing or this and that.
Or someone, I can't pay my rent because
Yeah. Sometimes you need somebody to be the hardball guy.
Or maybe you are just too soft-hearted, I mean, or maybe you get caught up in the story and you want someone that, will work to make sure they're paid, but will work in a very business professional way.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point because, I remember when I was self-managing and we got together and formed real estate, Investor Real Estate Services that, you remember this story? I think it was like the 3rd or the 5th of the month.
Yes.
And I was planning on taking a trip. And you looked at me and you said, do you realize what day it is? I go, yeah, man, it's Thursday. Yeah. I'm going to be leaving Friday. No.
Yeah.
You know what date it is?
Yeah.
And I go,
you never thought about it.
I said, well, it's the 3rd. You would have never left the 3rd,
right?
Knowing, or the 1st. You would never left
the
1st if you knew that the 3rd was coming and you would have had to collect rent. And I looked at it and said, you're right. It was like
you're kind of planning your whole life around that.
I wasn't running the business. The business was running me.
Yep.
And that's what's neat about real estate. Here we go. How can you get involved with a business that doesn't run you? You could run the business.
Well, the nice thing about real estate is you can participate in as much or as little as you want to. As John said, you can be an active or passive investor or somewhere in between. Maybe you have some time toward the middle of the month that you can really get in there and be a part of it, but the first and the end of the month you don't. And you can do that in investing in real estate. But that's building a team too.
Maybe you want to take trips and you don't want to be tied down on the weekends.
Yes,
there's team members that would help you and go through that with you and still make a great return.
Or maybe you just like doing the deal. Finding the deal and doing the deal. And then after that, you're kind of, the other part I have to do, but I don't enjoy it as much as finding the deal and doing the deal.
We're in this for the long term. And I think that's another important point. There's a lot of people that swing through town that, dangle the shiny object in front of everybody that you can get rich quick in here. And not to say you can't hit a home run every once in a while.
Mm-hmm. You will.
You will. I hope that you do. But the thing is, you're not going to come up the bat and hit a home run every time. The whole thing is just moving people around the bases, right? You just get on first,
getting them across home plate.
And if you keep hitting singles, you will win the game. So it's not a get rich quick program that we're talking about.
And it's not. I mean, let's be realistic. It's not easy. I mean, I know if you went tonight, if you turned on TV and started flipping the stations, I'm going to guess you'll find anywhere between 6 to 10 or 11 shows talking about how easy it is to flip and how easy it is to this. They do it in 30 minutes or they do it in an hour, and they may show, oh, we found this plumbing problem or something, but they don't show the hard work that it takes. And if you're building a team and you're allowing your team members to help you out, then that takes a lot of that work out. You spread that around.
Yeah. And listen, there's a lot of people also, and we do it ourselves, that we joint venture with people. Not only are you training on the ground and going through this and going and seeing how things are put together, but you're also a part of the investment, and you get paid for learning.
Yes, that's it. That's the important part,
Why go?
Yeah.
Why go and spend thousands of dollars on other courses when you can actually invest and get paid for your learning?
Yeah, at the end of it, you have something to show besides another invitation for a workshop or a boot camp or something like that. So
and another thing too is that everybody thinks that you got to buy cheap, and the cheapest properties are the best way. Well, how can I get it the cheapest property? Well, we talked last week.
Last week we went through that.
Deals.
Yeah.
How a cheap property doesn't necessarily mean you made the best deal.
As you said, it's how you structure the deal too.
The structure, you have to do your due diligence, and what we've talked about this with a lot of foreign investors also, Eric. Sometimes those cheap deals bring on extra maintenance costs that are deferred maintenance.
They may not be as cheap as you think they are.
Yeah, and it kind of eats up your cash flow every month. And gosh, you just hate to be able to buy something and then have to take money out of your pocket every month to finance it. That wasn't the way it was structured.
No.
So that's you go in with people who understand, who've kind of bloodied their knees, scrape their elbows already, so that you can see that. And listen, it's only going to take a few deals before you realize that I get it,
right?
And then go ahead and do it on your own. But JVing with people, that means joint venturing with other investors is really the way to go.
Oh, it is. And like John said, you're using their experience and you're learning. It's on the job training is exactly what it is.
And what's nice about here right now is that there's opportunities out there where the city is actually saying, hey, help us, show us what do you guys need to put these people, these homeless veterans in properties. And isn't that neat that you have that opportunity to go and do that you can go out and buy a property. I'm sure that there's going to be some sort of assistance from the city to put the homeless veterans in, and you made a difference in somebody's life and making money doing it.
Yeah, and
how bad is that?
And the other misnomer is sometimes when you're working with some of these agencies and organizations that provide assistance, that all the person has to do is live there, but they kind of give them some personal responsibility, and they want you to indoctrinate them in their personal responsibility in the property too. So it's a learning experience for them also.
Well, and doesn't Section 8 have a program how to be a good tenant?
They do. They teach them how to be a good tenant, and they teach them their responsibilities. And there's other programs. I think Catholic Charities has a program like that too, that they'll go in, and you can enroll your tenant in there if you want to, and teach them that just because they, their kids flush all their toys down the toilet, that you'll just come fix it for free. No, they're going to have to pay for that.
Yeah, you know what? Listen, I've learned too that we all have blessings out here, okay? And God knows you don't want to see me with a wrench or a hammer, because if you do, you know we're in trouble, and things are going the wrong way. So the thing is that once you can offer a property and a place for them to stay in a good, clean area, be able to make some money on it, and then say, hey, for this is what I would like you to do. Is go and go to some of these programs and go through those programs. And that's kind of neat. And one of the things that you look at doing too, Eric, when we're looking at what kind of properties we're talking about, what type of people we're talking about, well, obviously you want to have people that are have properties in an area where there's going to be some sort of public transportation.
That's very important.
You know, so that's what we look at when we.
So you look at the bus lines. Where you know
Exactly.
how close is the bus stop?
Can they walk to a corner store and pick up a fifth? No. Did I say that?
No, it's a court. But no. But I mean, you're right. You know, how convenient is for them to live there?
Yeah.
Are there places close by where they can shop, and maybe they are walking, or maybe it's a one bus stop away?
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of different avenues that you would look at in there.
Well, and that's
part of experience.
It's part of experience.
Yeah.
And part of thinking about, okay, what is it going to take to help this out and make money doing it? I keep on saying that, and make money doing it. And that's the neat thing about real estate and how local real estate is.
Yeah, it is. I mean, because we'll go back to the example we've used in the first hour. You know, I'm sure that when you buy either an Android or Apple iPhone, I'm sure you're making some kind of impact locally, but that's not going to be near the impact that you're going to make as if you invest in real estate and give somebody, you know, a nice home to live in and have them start their life and have them, you know, maybe you're flipping a house and maybe it's a first-time home buyer. I mean, there's a lot of ways to make a huge impact in individual lives and even in neighborhood and streets, even in the streets.
No, we're not saying to make this a ministry.
Right.
Okay.
But you can do it and make money.
It's a good feel-good opportunity. I always like to put my tithing in where tithing goes, and ministry and where ministry goes, and investment where investment goes. We're not saying you're going to do all this and be all this because you're going to be giving the stuff away. No, you're actually going to be making money on it, and you're going to be treating it as a business because it is a business. And you're going to be putting together a team together on this so that there's some backup on maintenance, on procuring the property, finding the money, structuring the deal, getting a good tenant in there. You have that as your team.
And, you know, we hadn't even mentioned the impact it makes on hiring local people to work on the property, local contractors, local vendors. I mean, it is a huge economic impact. And we're just talking about one house. You know, now you start talking about multiple houses, and it's amazing.
It's amazing how that works out. And, you know, one of the things we did for the RIA I think it was last year, where we put together a list of what everybody has been doing. You know, so you say, well, you know, okay, I've done, you know, 3 or 4 houses. This guy did 4 or 5, and then you add all that together, and that impact, Eric, was just phenomenal. And that's just a group, you know, a small group of people. I mean, we're 85. We hope to be 100. 100
right.
people strong by the end of the year, but. That's where it really makes a difference when you combine all these efforts and you move forward, and that's why there's some really neat quasi government,
and we're big on that in Chattanooga, the public-private getting together and doing things, and it's been successful. It has been successful. You know.
But that's what we have here, and it seems to work.
And you know what? You may go to the meeting and you not be interested in it at all, but you may meet someone there that can help you, that will maybe, you know, maybe not even mentor you, but maybe, you know, help you out with a vendor you need or something. Or you may go and it may open your eyes to, hey, you know, this is a way I can get into the investment real estate. This guy I'm sitting next to, as you said, John, is, you know, he knows what he's doing. I want a joint venture with him.
Yeah.
So, you know, anytime you get the opportunity to go to a meeting like that's going to be on this Thursday, or go to the RIA meeting, or anytime you're around people with like minds, then, you know, that's going to even better you, and it's going to help you network and learn more about investment real estate.
You know, and what's neat about it, Eric, is that you always learn something. I can go to some sort of program, you know, a boot camp, seen it before, heard it before, and then go again and get a whole nother perspective out of it, because I'm at another place.
Right.
Maybe some things were said. It kind of went right over.
Yeah,
my
you may have
head,
been concentrating on what was just said, and boom,
just one little facet of it, and and then this other things that just kind of went over my head. And then when you go back to it, and you go, "Wow, this is kind of neat." And that's why I like what we're doing on the 101 class, because we're putting it online. We're putting it so that you can go back.
You watch it over and over and over.
You'll be surprised. Well, we had a couple of people that took our 101 class. That was a live event, right? And we didn't tape it at that point. It came back again because they said, you know what? There was so much information, I couldn't absorb it all. So I think we've made it just another step or two better by having that, and with the workbook, that's
even better. And you can find out more information on that by going to our website, and that's realestateu.org, realestateu.org, and on the left-hand side, you'll see the tab that says Real Estate 1.1. You can watch the video and then read about everything that you'll need to do there. So come be a part of that too. If you're interested in real estate, you want to learn, and you want to invest in yourself, then there's your opportunity. Also, encourage you to come to the next RIA meeting, which you'll meet like-minded investors, and that's going to be May 7th. And that is a Thursday. That's a week from this Thursday, and it starts at 6:30. They've got good food there, and they're going to be talking about money. All the money people is going to be there and tell you what they need from you for you to get their money.
Yep. And listen, if you have money, you can certainly join the panel.
Oh, there you go.
So if you're hearing this, you go, you know what?
Yeah, I've got some money.
I have some money that we can do. Listen, I'm not cool. I'm not fooling. You'd be surprised what you can do if you have some private funds and see what kind of investment you can get back.
Absolutely correct on that. And if you have any questions about anyone managing your property or leasing your property, give Investor Real Estate Services a call, 423-443-4878. 423-443-4878. That's extension 3. And talk to Regina Johnson. She'll be more than happy to help you out. And, John, we have the Digital Drive with Russell coming up after us. And then, of course, David Tullis after him. And I think Russell has dedicated his whole show this week to Michael Jackson, which I find, a little odd. But that's fine.
He has this little shrine in the back.
He does.
It's kind of scary.
Well, he moonwalks everywhere he goes in there, So, no, he's going to be talking all things digital. And I tell you what, technology is a part of our everyday life. And, so you need to listen to Russell. Thank you for listening to Real Estate U here on Hot News Talk Radio. We will hope that you will listen to us next Tuesday at 11 a.m. Thanks, and have a great day.
NASCAR, Laura Ingram, Dennis Miller, David Toulis, Coast to Coast AM, and CBS Radio News. Chattanooga's news, talk, and sports leader.
Hot News Talk Radio, 910, 1190, and 1240 AM.
You do not have to be living with constant pain. You need to make the choice today to enjoy a revitalized body. You deserve to live a better pain-free life. And Dr. Ross can help. At Ross Chiropractic, failure is not an option. For over 40 years, Dr. Ross, a graduate of the prestigious Palmer College of Chiropractic, prided himself in helping and healing. The Ross method of chiropractic care is unique in developing a treatment designed just for you. And Ross Chiropractic makes this promise to you. If he believes that he can't help relieve your pain, he will guide you to another health practitioner to assist you. Feel better now. You owe it to yourself. You really do. Call Dr. Ross now at 954-9591. That's 954-9591. And visit Dr. Ross at 7405 Shaliford Road, Suite 320. Ross Chiropractic, helping your body heal itself. Because when your spine's in line, you will feel fine. Call 954-9591. That's 954-9591 for Ross Chiropractic.
Okay, you get your taxes done by a franchise, but you're just a number. Your preparer might have had a 9-week course, but he's a number 2. Are you creating prosperity for your customers and yourself? EJ Pelton clears the thick underbrush of taxes, helps make your way straight. Don't let uncertainty dampen your local economy spirit. Look, come home. Let EJ Pelton Tax Service handle your taxes. Eric Pelton is the Chattanooga and Saudi Daisy tax specialist with 37 years under his belt. Eric Pelton also does bookkeeping and accounting to help you reach your entrepreneurial and financial goals. Confidential advice, consulting, and other services. Yours for the asking. EJPelton.com. That's EJPelton.com. Call 332
WEPG South Pittsburgh. WSGT Saudi Daisy Chattanooga.
House correspondent Bill Plant that embattled DEA chief Michelle Leonhardt is expected to resign soon.
The agency has been plagued by scandal in recent years. Last month, there was a report from the Justice Department's Office of Inspector General, which revealed that several DEA agents